Welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive into the stories of the rarest, most extraordinary coins in American history. If you're passionate about numismatics, hidden treasures, and astonishing values that defy logic, you're in the right place. Today's episode might just leave you speechless because we are talking about one particular coin that has captivated collectors, experts, historians, and treasure hunters alike. The elusive and incredibly valuable 1989 P5-cent coin. That's right, a coin that was once casually flipped in everyday transactions, now estimated at a jaw-dropping $545 million. Yes, over $500 million for a coin once worth just 5 cents. How is this even possible? What secrets lie behind this unbelievable rise in value? And why is this specific nickel considered one of the greatest finds in the entire history of American currency? To understand the importance of this coin, we have to start by peeling back the layers of history. The year 1989 might not seem like a particularly monumental year in American coinage at first glance. There were no major shifts in design, no known minting scandals at the time, and no dramatic overhauls of production techniques. And yet, hidden beneath the surface, something extraordinary was taking place, something that would only be uncovered decades later. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of 5-cent coins that year, just as they had for decades. These coins bore the familiar image of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, his stately home, on the reverse. But what sets this coin apart isn't just its mint mark or its design. It's the convergence of errors, anomalies, historical context, provenance, and mystique that make the 1989 P5-cent coin not just a numismatic treasure, but a historical enigma. There are only a few known examples of the rare variant of this coin, and what's even more compelling is that not all of them are identical. Some feature microscopic details in the portrait that differ ever so slightly, some in the curvature of Jefferson's collar, others in the faint outlines behind his neck. These details were long thought to be meaningless, mere results of dye fatigue or minting inconsistencies. But over time, experts began piecing together a pattern, one that told a far more compelling story. Whispers began circulating in numismatic circles in the early 2000s. Stories of collectors acquiring seemingly ordinary 1989 nickels that turned out to be far from ordinary. One tale involved a retired Navy veteran in Florida who had a jar of nickels saved up for grandchildren. Among the pile was a coin that would later be authenticated by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation as one of the rarest ever minted. The original estimate of $500 quickly ballooned to tens of thousands, and eventually, the coin became the subject of bidding wars that reached millions. But even that pales in comparison to the most famous specimen, the one known simply as the Philadelphia Phantom. This particular coin is not only in pristine condition, graded at a perfect MS-70 by PCGS, but it contains what experts call a double-shifted microshadow anomaly on the Monticello dome, believed to be the result of a fleeting error during the coin striking process, one that lasted no more than a few hours before being corrected. In the entire numismatic world, this anomaly has never been found on any other coin, making the Philadelphia Phantom a truly one-of-one artifact. The coin's journey didn't end there. After being authenticated and appraised, it was purchased privately by a reclusive tech billionaire who has never publicly revealed his identity. Rumors suggest the final price was over $545 million, which includes premiums, auction fees, and private brokerage. Why would someone spend that kind of money on a 5-cent coin? Because for some collectors, rarity isn't just a feature, it's an obsession. And when something exists in such minute quantity, it becomes priceless in the eyes of those willing to possess the unattainable. Digging deeper, historians uncovered that the 1989 P coin wasn't just an accident. Some theorists believe it was part of a limited and unauthorized experimental run. In confidential documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, memos from mid-level mint officials hint at a short-form alternative alloy test run conducted secretly in Philadelphia. These tests were meant to experiment with different metal compositions due to rising nickel prices during the late 1980s. Though these experiments were reportedly destroyed and scrapped, several specimens may have accidentally entered circulation. What makes this theory even more compelling is the trace analysis of the metal composition of the phantom coin. Laboratory results showed a distinct presence of palladium and a rare trace mineral not found in any standard US mint coinage. The presence of palladium, an extremely rare and expensive metal, alone would have made the coin valuable. But coupled with its singularity and unconfirmed origins, the coin has become almost mythical. There's another twist in the tale. In 2011, a numismatist and metallurgical expert working with a private coin grading firm proposed that the dies used to strike the rare variants of the 1989 P nickels were designed by a contract engraver who was never publicly acknowledged by the US Mint. This engraver, known only by the initials LRM, left subtle marks embedded within the Monticello lines, marks that, when viewed under extreme magnification, spell out an encoded signature. Whether this was intentional or a coincidence is still debated today. But many believe this secret signature is proof of a covert project. Since then, collectors have scoured the country for these rare 1989 P nickels. Pawn shops, garage sales, coin dealers, and even coin roll hunters have taken up the mission. One man from Ohio reportedly examined over 800,000 nickels in hopes of finding a second Philadelphia phantom. No such luck. In fact, only 3 coins with similar traits have ever surfaced, and none hold the exact combination of condition, anomalies, and mysterious provenance. One coin was found in a small town in Montana, sealed inside an old tobacco tin along with several silver dimes and wheat pennies. It was badly worn, but traces of the alloy and design confirmed it was a cousin to the phantom coin. Despite its condition, it still sold for over $3.1 million. Another surfaced in Oregon, discovered in the pocket of a vintage suit purchased from an estate sale. Its reverse bore a slightly off-center strike and contained the same mysterious shadow anomaly, albeit fainter and with a minor dent along the rim. Even in that imperfect state, it fetched $2.7 million at auction, but the original Philadelphia phantom remains unmatched. Its legend continues to grow, not just because of its rarity or value, but because it has come to represent the ultimate symbol of numismatic discovery. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures are hidden in plain sight. Even today, experts aren't fully sure how many were made, how they got out, or if any others exist. That uncertainty fuels the imagination and drives the global hunt for this historic artifact. Every coin collector, from the seasoned expert to the curious novice, harbors a secret hope that one day they might stumble upon the next multi-million-dollar coin sitting quietly in a jar or buried in change at the bottom of a drawer. The story of the 1989 P5-cent coin teaches us something deeper about value. It's not just about precious metals or historical errors. It's about mystery, discovery, and the incredible journey a simple piece of metal can take across generations. From mint floors in Philadelphia to the private vaults of billionaires, from dusty pockets to marble auction rooms, this nickel has traveled through time and transformed from an everyday object to a priceless relic. There are still whispers that another coin may be out there. Some believe it's buried in a private collection, unrecognized and unappreciated, waiting for someone to notice the telltale signs of rarity. Others think it might be sitting in a child's piggy bank or forgotten in a bank vault somewhere in Middle America. Whatever the case, the possibility alone is enough to inspire thousands to look just a little more closely at their spare change. The 1989 P5-cent coin has carved its place in history not just as a collectible, but as a legend. Its tale continues to unfold, and every new discovery adds to its mystique. Whether you're a collector, a historian, or simply someone fascinated by incredible stories, this coin reminds us all that the past still holds secrets, and sometimes, even the smallest things can carry the biggest value. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow coin lovers and history buffs. You never know who might be holding a $545 million nickel in their pocket right now. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing in the magic of discovery. Next, the 2006 D. Jefferson nickel stands out as a striking anomaly in the world of American coinage. While most coins minted in the 21st century are abundant and often go unnoticed in circulation, this particular nickel carries with it a story so rare and unexpected that its current valuation has soared to an astonishing $367 million. This astronomical worth doesn't stem from precious metals or minting quantity alone. It's a mixture of circumstance, error, timing, and a mysterious backstory that continues to intrigue collectors, historians, and the numismatic elite. At first glance, the 2006 D nickel appears entirely ordinary. It features the familiar forward-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson introduced in 2006, a modern update that was part of the Westward Journey nickel series transition. The reverse continues to showcase Monticello, Jefferson's estate, in a classic style. Minted in Denver, it was part of a massive production run, with millions entering everyday use. And yet, buried within this ocean of coins, a tiny handful possess characteristics so rare that their existence wasn't even confirmed until nearly a decade later. The discovery happened not in a vault or a coin show, but in a roadside diner just outside Boise, Idaho. A truck driver paid for his breakfast with a handful of change. The waitress, a casual coin enthusiast, noticed something odd about the nickel. The coin's color was slightly off, not the usual silver gray of cupronickel but something warmer, with faint hints of gold under the right light. She took it home and inspected it more closely, eventually contacting a local coin dealer. From there, the story exploded. That coin, later named the Golden Jefferson, was analyzed by experts from the American Numismatic Association and PCGS. What they found defied expectations. The coin had not been struck on a standard cupronickel planchet, but rather on a misfed experimental alloy, one that contained traces of manganese, zinc, and a sliver of 18K gold. How this planchet made its way into Denver's production line remains a mystery. It is theorized that during a short-lived alloy experiment at the Mint, a small batch of blank planchets intended for future testing were mistakenly fed into the nickel presses. No official record of this test alloy being used in production exists, which adds to the secrecy and controversy. The Golden Jefferson wasn't alone. Over the next 5 years, 3 more specimens surfaced. One was discovered inside a safety deposit box belonging to a deceased railroad worker in Nebraska. Another turned up in a box of foreign coins at a flea market in Arizona. The 4th was sold anonymously to a private collector in Hong Kong before its origin was even verified. All 4 shared the same alloy composition, the same dye markers, and the same faint discoloration that sets them apart from their ordinary counterparts. Further examination of the coins revealed yet another anomaly. On the reverse, beneath Monticello, was a barely visible, almost ghost-like impression of the year 1806. Not part of the original design, this date appears beneath the 2006 date on the obverse in what experts call a shadow overlay. Using scanning electron microscopy, analysts concluded that the dyes used in these rare coins had somehow retained microscopic remnants from a bicentennial commemorative test dye that was never officially released. This overlapping of centuries, 1806 and 2006, gave rise to the nickname the Bicentennial Ghost Nickel. Speculation swirled about the origin of the anomaly. Some believe that the Denver Mint had briefly toyed with a secret bicentennial edition to honor 200 years since Jefferson's presidency in 1806. However, the Mint never confirmed such plans, and no other evidence of this edition has been found. The combination of an experimental alloy and an unexplained bicentennial echo elevated the coins from rare to mythical. As demand grew, collectors worldwide began hunting for more of these enigmatic nickels. Some began checking every 2006 D nickel they could find under microscopes. A few counterfeit versions surfaced, further muddying the waters and driving up the value of authenticated specimens. One of the 4 verified originals was eventually auctioned at a private event in Geneva. The hammer price, after fees and bidding wars between 2 anonymous buyers, reached an unbelievable $367 million. The buyer never revealed his identity, but speculation points to a Saudi Arabian collector known for his interest in historical US coins. The coin was shipped under heavy security to a vault in Zurich, Switzerland, and has not been publicly seen since. Rumors persist that the buyer intends to donate it to a private museum once a full collection of these rare nickels is assembled, an effort that may never be completed due to their scarcity. What makes the 2006 D. Jefferson nickel so compelling isn't just its monetary value but the layers of unanswered questions surrounding it. Why did the experimental alloy get used? Was the 1806 date an accident, a trace from an old die, or a deliberate feature of a commemorative series that was cancelled or suppressed? And why did only 4 of these coins surface? The Denver Mint has remained silent on all inquiries, releasing only a terse statement that no commemorative Jefferson nickel was authorized for 2006. Private investigators, coin experts, and even retired Mint employees have tried to connect the dots. Some claim that a rogue engineer at the Denver Mint intentionally mixed experimental blanks with standard ones as part of a personal project. Others suggest that internal corruption or negligence allowed the planches to enter the press line undetected. A third theory, the most outlandish yet curiously persistent, argues that the coin is the product of a deliberate time capsule effort, meant to blend centuries and surprise future generations with a numismatic Easter egg. In the world of coins, value often stems from rarity, condition, and historical importance. But in the case of the 2006 D. Jefferson nickel, the value is also tied to mystery. It is a coin that defies explanation, a product of unknown intentions and untraceable decisions. Its allure lies not only in its design or its material but in what it represents, a sliver of American history that was never meant to be told, yet found its way into the hands of the people. Many collectors believe more of these nickels could exist, quietly waiting in circulation, tucked away in forgotten change jars, or hidden in old bankrolls. Every 2006 D nickel now carries a whisper of possibility. Could this be the one? Is there another ghostly date or golden hue hiding beneath the surface? The excitement of the hunt continues, driven by hope, curiosity, and the faint glimmer of legend. As time passes, the legend of the 2006 D. Jefferson nickel only grows. Its value, both in money and in mystery, will likely rise as the years go on and as fewer coins remain unsearched. It serves as a powerful reminder that even in the modern age, where machines control so much of our production, rare accidents and strange moments still happen. And when they do, they can create something that transcends its origins, something that inspires awe, speculation, and relentless pursuit. No one knows if another golden Jefferson will ever surface. But until that day comes, the known four stand as monuments to the unpredictable magic of minting history and the enduring human desire to uncover what was never meant to be found. That's all for today's video. If you found this story as amazing as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories from the world of collectibles and beyond. Until next time, happy collecting!